This is the T-22 Medium, a Tier 10 Soviet collector medium tank, a vehicle which features incredible armor, solid mobility, and a pretty accurate gun with high levels of DPM. This is an absolutely fantastic vehicle. And even though over the years it has definitely changed and gotten a bit power crept, I still think the major points which allow this vehicle to be capable are still just as strong. First of all, we have the damage per minute, which is alright, 3,160. It's nothing insane. You could get it higher if you run rammer. However, I like having that penetration, as it's much nicer to deal with heavily armored opponents. 0.308 dispersion is also pretty good. When you pair that with the top speed of 56 and a pretty solid power to weight, and the traverse speed being pretty good now. The traverse was fairly bad for a while, and then Wargaming made it a bit better. So right now I would say the T-22 Medium is in a pretty good position. It's got a solid gun, it's got everything you'd want for a medium. The only real downside is that it doesn't have much gun depression, which makes it tricky to work positions in front of you. So if you are trying to use it hull down, you're only going to be able to use about 6 degrees effectively. But I guess we will see just how that affects the games we get into. Here we are in game number 1. Alright, what do we have up against us? M48 Patton, 907, okay. So there's 2 decent mobile tanks. We got a Bosch Chaltion and a T-54E1. Alright, well our E5's making his way over here as well, so I guess we'll see how this ends up working out. You can see the pretty good power to weight here, though, on the T-22. We are accelerating all the way up to our top speed already, which allows this tank to feel very, very flexible. So we are going to start off by positioning right in this bush here. This is a really good spot for anybody that over-aggresses into this area here. And as we can see, base A is being captured, so we can just poke the bush, get a nice slap into the enemy 907, and back in the cover. Our T-95E6 and the rest of our team is maneuvering over towards this side of the map, which is good for us. I'm going to wait for that Patton to hopefully make an over-aggression, then possibly we can get a bleed out. But as we can see, the majority of the enemy team is also positioning over here, which is something that we will have to keep in mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go low, and I'm going to cross wide if I can. We're going to see if I can get some damage into the T-57. I think my sensitivity might be higher than what I normally like it to be, but there you go. Nice shots so far. T-57 Heavy really can't do anything. Dude's already dead. Alright, pretty solid stuff so far. We got the Patton in the back. We're going to load in a heat shell just to guarantee the pen. We get a 640 bounce, but we are all good as of right now. Okay, so 640 bounce means that the T-30 is sitting in the back. Okay, that's pretty good to know. We're just going to keep on going over here. Let's see if we can get a shell into the rear of the 907. There you go. Look at that. 525 juicer into his tank. So we're already up to a pretty solid amount of damage. And we also saw there was a bounce. So, or not a bounce, but a miss. So we're going to maneuver over here. We also got the Jagdpanzer in the back. However, I was going to say we probably can't hit the Yag, but that player maneuvered up, so we were able to get a shell out. Alright, we got the T-30 in front of us. We got one shell into the T-30. Obviously, the T-30 is a tank that I want cleared. It's got an incredibly dangerous gun, high pen, high levels of DPM. So, oh my god, there's no way our T-20... Nah. I'm sorry, bad chat. I can't. I'm not. I'm just dealing with the K91 at this point. Let's get a free shell into you. Alright, there's one shell into the K91. We're up to 3,000 damage at this point. Okay, gotta love auto-aim sometimes, making the easy shots miss. Alright, let's aim it again. There you go. That was a pretty easy pen. Jagdpanzer shoots, and that's all that's left. So this is a pretty solid win. We can see where this tank feels pretty fantastic. None of us can apparently pen this Jagdpanzer in the track wheel here, but there you go. Finally penning him in the track. We're also able to pin him in this position, which is obviously not an enjoyable spot for this Jag to be sitting in. He shoots our Foch. We're going to push him here. We're going to get another shell into his lower plate, and obviously at this time frame, the Jagd's not doing all too well. So there you go, 4,370 damage. We were able to use the gun solid. I mean, we didn't really need to work the armor in that game because we weren't in a position where we had to use the armor. We still blocked 1,280, but most of that wasn't necessarily the armor. That was just us kind of doing our job there. So, pretty solid first game. I really like the T-22. It's one of those tanks that the less people play, the more I enjoy playing it, because it's one of those unique tanks you don't see in the Matchmaker as much anymore, and the high mobility paired with that solid accuracy and DPM, it just makes it very enjoyable. It's probably the only Soviet medium that really has no turret weak spot. In fact, it's really the only medium in general that doesn't have a turret weak spot. I mean, you can look at any medium, a 1-2-1, you can pen the cheeks. If you look at, the German mediums, obviously the E50M has a strong turret, but still high pen heat can cut through it. For the most part, the T-22 turret hull down, apart from the little slightest bit of the mantlet right next to the cheeks, you're not going to get penned, which allows this vehicle to be absolutely fantastic. So, here we are, second game. And we are going to, well, we'll see what we can do. Up against us, we have a T-54E1. We have an M60 as support. We have a no camo Foch, which is not instilling a lot of confidence in me. Alrighty, let's make our way right over here. Okay, well, that was just a bad shot for me. Alright, I'll have to mess with my sense after this game. It's definitely a little bit wonky. Alright, let me destroy that. That's unfortunate. I would have been able to hit the 54E1. However, at least we got him spotted, and we can still... Okay. Thank you, T-22. Let's aim it on that 40-05. There you go. At least I was able to get the second shell out. We had our adrenaline on for a reason, and it did help us. Just cannot believe that first shell missed him. Okay, so at this point, we obviously have the grill, and we also have the 40-05 off to the side. I'm going to maneuver here, aim it on the side of the 40-05. There you go. 324 shot into his vehicle. And let's see. Is the grill spotted? Yes, the grill is spotted. However, I don't know how much of this is actually going to matter when our team is falling apart so dang fast. Let's aim it on the T-54. We got one pen into his tank. Unfortunately, my 7.52 blocks me. However, we out-reload the 54E1 and get the clear. The 113 GFT is not currently looking at me. He's actually dealing with some other matters. We got the E5 off to the side. There you go. 452 gets a pen into the E5 as well. So we're doing all right. We're up to 1,200 damage. Got the WZ in front, and obviously the WZ isn't... Okay. Alright, well, the only spot we can pen that WZ is in the hatch. Also got the 40-05 in front of us. Let's see, M60 is going to try and get to the side of that player, which he does, and that means we can get a bonk in. And then the M60 is going to stay on his side, and nice, we got the clears. Okay, that's pretty important there. We got the 452 in front. We also got the grill. 452 appears like he's going to try and flank, but dude gets absolutely bled for that. We're going to get to the side of the 452 now. We're going to get one easy pen into his vehicle. We're going to reload. We're going to put on our adrenaline, and there you go. Two easy pens into his tank. Is the Chieftain going to hash him? He does get the hash out. I'm going to aim it on the E5 now. E5's definitely a bigger threat at this point. And we can start moving up. I mean, this is, again, another easy win. And it shows where the T-22 really is a fantastic vehicle. I mean, yeah, the gun can be a bit wonky at certain times, but that's what you expect from a Soviet-style medium. Overall, the armor, the DPM, and the fantastic mobility still allow you to get in, out of positions really quickly, and get the job done. So let's take a look. We did 3,023 damage. So both games we played were pretty good. 3,600. We got 2 victories out, which is surprising for the new matchmaker. And yeah, not too much of a complaint here at all. I think the T-22 is great. And there are people out there that think it's power crept. That's just not the case. I mean, you saw there just how easily you can do well in the vehicle. You do need some common sense, but apart from that, it's a fantastic tank. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.